It's not a surprise that many renowned personalities are starting to notice how K-pop bands are changing the game. One best example is the current kings, BTS. This once small, unknown group is climbing the ladder of success as they continue to conquer the music industry, not just in Korea, but all over the globe. But what do you think will happen when the current generation gets the attention of the pioneer of the boy groups? Continue watching and hear how NSYNC speaks about BTS and K-pop. Okay, cool, let's get started. In the present day, BTS is one of the most well-known K-pop acts, and in the 1990s, NSYNC was a top band. And it looks like these two boy bands are keeping eyes on each other, as one finally opens up about how they think of their Korean counterpart. One of NSYNC's most well-known members, Lance Bass, shared his opinions on BTS and their popularity. Joey Fatone of NSYNC and the other members of the group shared a few pieces of advice for BTS. But before we dive into the details, let's get to know each group first. The American boy band NSYNC, known by the stylized names NSYNC or NSYNC, was created in Orlando, Florida in 1995. This was after BMG Areola Munich introduced them to Germany. The group's second album, No Strings Attached, sold over 1 million copies in a single day and 2.42 million copies in a single week, setting records that had stood for more than 15 years, following highly publicized legal disputes with their previous manager Lou Pearlman and former record company Bertelsmann Music Group. Yep, it was not an easy ride for NSYNC, but they could still build an empire throughout the 90s. On the other hand, BTS also rose from the ashes after trying hard to be recognized in the K-pop community. The group had a humble start, being a rookie, which usually gets overlooked. But just like a snap, the group received recognition after getting noticed by international spectators. BTS became the most successful K-pop group ever to enter the Western music industry and receive countless awards and Billboard placements. These two groups have a lot in common, and because of that, they both seem to look out for each other. They reunited on occasion throughout the years, but on September 12, it was revealed that NSYNC would release brand new music for the movie Trolls Band Together. Because of this reunion, NSYNC would appear more publicly and voice their opinions about the current trend and how boy bands are nowadays. With boy bands popping like mushrooms, it's not surprising that the original best boy group would examine the young lads. Actually, it was not a surprise that BTS got NSYNC's attention and even received advice from them. Bass actually revealed that he is very interested in K-pop, saying, "I love K-pop. It's so fun and it's different, you know? Something that this country's never seen before." He continued by saying, "I think it's fun because I like performance. So when I go to a show, I want to be entertained. And when you have that many people, you can have a lot of fun on stage." I think we can all agree that Bass is relatable, and we can't deny that K-pop's uniqueness is one of its main selling points. But it's different in a good way, and many new fans get hooked the moment they hear such amazing music from these K-pop idols. Lance also mentioned how not being the typical style of boy bands helped BTS to rise to stardom. He said, "And I think that's why the fandom is so crazy, because all of them had that one or two that they just love and they support. And it's fun. It's fun to see a group of different personalities work together. And though many of us think that BTS is doing great in their achievement and recognition, it looks like there are still many things they need to learn. You see, despite the big difference in culture and nature of each industry, being a boy band is one of the reasons NSYNC is eager to give advice to BTS. Joey Fatone, one of NSYNC's members, told the Korean boy band to stay together in his interview with Elle. Joey stated one vital rule to continue succeeding while being in a boy band is to keep going and know that there are other projects that you can do. But if you ever do that, separate, take a break, and then come back. This is interesting advice, knowing that NSYNC got separated and never returned for a while after going apart. Joey's sentiments echo that recommendation, making fans believe this is his way of saying stay together if you want to stay on top. For those who don't know, NSYNC was left with no choice but to disband. They announced their hiatus after a successful tour but could not get back together. There were many speculations on why the group ended that way, but many believed it was because of one member's desire to go solo. For instance, Justin Timberlake was so eager to start a career alone that he didn't return to the group after their short break. NSYNC's music career ended abruptly after Justin left, and Joey does not want the same thing to happen with BTS. Maybe that is why Joey was keen to mention the importance of staying together. Also, this advice is very timely, especially if we take BTS's current situation. We all know that the members are starting to venture into their solo careers and are doing an excellent job. With different solo albums, BTS is currently not just dominating the K-pop scene as a group, but also as solo artists. But with this success comes worried fans. Why do they worry, you ask? Well, just like what happened to NSYNC, fans are scared BTS members will become too successful as solo artists, will decide to end their group. Indeed, it sounds terrifying, and fans started to voice out their worries on social media. Maybe this is why BTS members take matters into their own hands and clarify all the speculations. During one of his live broadcasts, Jungkook mentioned how, despite doing fine as a solo artist, BTS would continue to promote as a group. He also reassured their fans not to worry about anything, because BTS will continue to be together for a long time. Another piece of advice that Lance gave BTS was about finances. Being in a popular boy band, it's evident that money will also come flowing. Well, that is where the problem usually comes from. During one of his interviews, Lance mentioned how there are times when record labels exploit their artists and pay them less than what they truly deserve. He stated that it is always crucial to know your worth and speak up when you believe you are being taken advantage of. Lance also claimed that in order not to fall as they did, it's essential for boy bands to know that in whatever business they are doing, all should be fair, no matter what it may be. They should always push fairness and demand for what they deserve. Suga once revealed that before their company ran out of money, the members were forced to move out of their accommodation. It might not exactly be the same as what Lance was talking about. However, BTS members also experienced being disregarded unjustly because of the dire financial management of their label. But BTS is not your usual group. Despite that misfortune, Suga revealed how the members stuck it out and continued to work hard, setting their problems aside. And look at them now. Maybe they did not need to be told how to ensure they were treated fairly. The BTS members wanted to debut so severely that no obstacles could stop them from reaching their goal. Over the years, many changes have happened in how groups are created. There is usual practice that is already outdated, and trends are never the same as it was 10 years ago. K-pop is currently taking the world by storm, and the one leading it is BTS. As one of the most popular bands in the world, it's evident that BTS can use advice or two from those who could walk the same path as them. And for NSYNC, the years they spent being the top boy band of their time gave them many lessons that they are willing to share with a new generation of boy bands. And though they might not have the same experiences, it's beautiful how much they relate to each one's struggles and throes. So, what do you think of NSYNC's advice to BTS? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more.